Here is the model of respiratory system. How many components in respiratory system? So there are 10 components in respiratory system. First, nasal cavity, mouth, pharynx, larynx. Larynx are also known as voice box, and trachea. Trachea is also known as windpipe. Then bronchus, bronchioles, alveoli, and lungs. And the last is diaphragm. Then we know what is the respiratory system. The respiratory system is a complex and vital system that enables the exchange of gases between the body and the environmental. Components of respiratory system and their works. First, nose, and also known as nasal cavity. Air enters the body through the nose, which filter the air, warms and humidifies the air. Then pharynx. Pharynx is separate passes from the air and foods. Larynx, known as voice box, contains vocal cords and regulates airflow. Trachea, a tube that carries air to the lungs. Bronchus, tubes that branch off from the trachea into each lungs. Bronchioles, smaller airway within the lungs. Alveoli, tiny cells where gas exchange. Lungs, the primary organs of gas exchange. And the diaphragm. Diaphragm, a dome-shaped muscles that separate the chest cavity and the abdomen cavity. Then mechanism of breathing. Mechanism of the breathing is inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, the diaphragm controls the rib cage expansion, increasing the volume of the thoracic cavity. Air rushes into lungs due to the decrease. Exhalation, the diaphragm relaxes and the rib cage descends, decreasing the volume of the thoracic cavity. Air is pushed out the lungs. Regulation of respiratory system. Brainism and chemoreceptor. Brainism, the respiratory centers is the brainstem, medulla oblongata, and pons. Regulates breathing and rate of depth. Chemoreceptor, sensor that detect change in blood pH, CO2 and O2 levels, influencing breathing rate. Function of respiratory system. Gas exchange, acid-base balanced, voice production and offlection. Primary functions of the respiratory system called gas exchange, help of regulate blood pH by controlling carbon dioxide level, called acid-base balanced. The larynx contains vocal cords which vibrate to produce sound, called voice production. The nasal cavity contains olfactory receptor which detect odors, called olfaction.